The history of the global banking cartel, power beyond kings and empires. One. The hidden hand. Money's story isn't just coins and paper. It's power, secrecy, and survival. Behind every war and empire stood a financial network that thrived while others fell. Monarchs discovered armies weren't enough, wars drained treasuries. That's when private bankers stepped in. They didn't carry swords, they carried credit. And credit proved more enduring than steel. Footnote. The birth of private finance shifted power from monarchs to bankers who fueled wars. 2. Early dynasties. In Florence, the Medici funded popes and monarchs, showing that wealth could rival crowns. The Fugger family of Augsburg later bankrolled Habsburg emperors, securing mining monopolies and proving bankers could decide which throne stood. But both were precursors to the Rothschild, who rewrote the rules. Footnote. Early families like the Medicis and Fuggers pioneered financial empires, paving the way for global dynasties. 3. The Rothschild Revolution. Emerging from Frankfurt in the 18th century, Meyer Amschel Rothschild placed his sons in Europe's capitals, London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. Their network was faster than governments, carrying war news across borders before officials knew it. Betting on outcomes, they profited from Napoleon's defeat and expanded dominance. Their genius? Lending to governments in crisis, never tying their fate to one nation. Wars ruined kingdoms but enriched the cartel. Footnote. The Rothschild built an international intelligence and finance network that thrived on wars. 4. From families to institutions. By the 19th century, firms like Baring Brothers in London and J.P. Morgan in America rose, underwriting industry and colonial expansion. Central banks, the Bank of England, Bank of France, later the Federal Reserve, blurred lines between state treasuries and private finance. Wars like World War I cemented the model. Governments issued bonds, banks funded armies, and bankers always got paid. Footnote. Industrial revolutions and wars expanded bankers' influence, intertwining private dynasties with central banks. 5. Surviving global wars? In both world wars, bankers adapted. Switzerland's neutrality allowed assets to move. After World War II, Bretton Woods created the IMF and World Bank, institutions carrying cartel DNA under the banner of international cooperation. The survival strategy shifted from families to transnational institutions, but the principle stayed the same: money flows across borders, immune to politics. Footnote. Global institutions like the IMF and World Bank institutionalized the survival tactics of private banking dynasties. 6. Cold War and beyond. While nations split ideologically, banks thrived. Petrodollars flowed into Western markets, wars in Korea and Vietnam meant loans and reconstruction. By the late 20th century, dynasties gave way to multinationals like Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and Deutsche Bank. Crises, the Soviet collapse, Asia's crash, the 2008 meltdown, never ended their reign. Bailouts saved them as surely as royal decrees once did. Footnote. Modern banks replace dynasties, but crises only strengthen their grip on global finance. 7. The enduring lesson. Empires crumble, ideologies change, leaders rise and fall, but financial networks survive. Why? Because no king or president can wage war or rebuild peace without money. And money doesn't march under flags. It flows quietly, shaping history from the shadows. The global banking cartel's story isn't just greed, it's the reality that those who control credit outlast those who control armies. Footnote. The endurance of banking networks shows that control over money outlives political systems and wars.